We are live. This is the market update. Crypto equities, Marathon Digital, Riot Blockchain, Hut 8 Mining, MicroStrategy, Galaxy Digital, Coinbase. What do they have in common? They're going up. Want to know more? Stay right here. I'm Bill Noble. I'm your host. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. And if the content works for you, hit the like button. Smash the like button. Let's welcome to see who's on the stream. Bull Runner is here. Wrong again. All right. We have Poland in the house. Welcome back. Okay. Ashton, Bulls on Parade. Nabil is here. Welcome. RJC 3000. How you doing? How you doing? SFG is here. Welcome. Reverend Flashback. Always happy to see you too, sir. Love from Spain and Belgium. Metabice, James Stewart. When the next pullback? Good question. Pullback, is a pullback a sideways move or a pullback is a drop out of nowhere? I would argue sideways action is a pullback. Blue Collar Jeff likes the thumbnails. We appreciate that. And so does the person and the people who make them. Zach from Ann Arbor, Michigan, right? Bridges Fire. When Bill pounds the table, I listen. Thank you. I am pounding the table now to get in the way I was pounding the table to get out last year. Want to know more? Don't go anywhere. Andre with Notorious Love, right? Krishna wants to know thoughts on the FOMC next week. Next week may be your dip buying opportunity. Whatever the Fed says and does is irrelevant. They tighten a lot. They're going to have to unwind it in the future. And the market is going to price that in. They finally acknowledge people are getting laid off and that people from Microsoft are not going to fill in jobs at Chick-fil-A to solve the labor shortage problem. So anytime they want to figure that out is okay with the rest of us. Most likely he's going to have to backtrack, and I'm guessing that that's the pivot. And if it's not the pivot, they're stupid, and they're going to have to pivot and cut rates more later. So if they're stupid, it's a buying opportunity. If they get sensible, market's going up. Market's going to wind up going up either way because the Fed has done what they have to do. Okay, so jokes aside, the Fed's done what they had to do to normalize rates and stop inflation. They go any higher with interest rates after a token 25 or 50 basis point tightening. They go any farther than that, they're basically inviting a calamity. Chiefs or Bengals this weekend? Okay, well, the Giants are out. That's Big Blue. I live in Texas. Dallas is out. I think fading this guy that's the quarterback from the Bengals is not a wise move. Iron Alien is here. All right, let's jump into the news. And we have hello from Nigeria. All right, let's get into the news right now. Okay. Question. Could we possibly have any more FUD? Let me see if I can just play this video, if it'll come out. Yeah, okay, here we go. So now the doomsday clock has been set to 90 seconds to midnight, the closest it has ever been to total annihilation. This is based on events in Ukraine. Let's go over this. They're hitting Putin inside Russia. There's no way Putin can allow this to continue. We don't know if he's losing the war or winning the war. We just know that he hasn't taken Ukraine, and inflation has not broken the Western financial system as of yet. The stock market is still up. Yeah, eggs are expensive. Yes, people are suffering. Yes, people are defaulting on credit cards. But it's not the apocalypse the KGB was hoping for. Yes, the KGB is still around. No, it's not organizationally around, but the mentality certainly is. So the Russians are going to have to do something drastic. Everyone knows this. This is known. And the market can climb the wall of worry until they do something drastic, probably in the fall. So according to these people, it's 90 seconds to midnight. According to me, you fade this because the FUD is endless. Pay attention. Something is coming. Brian Armstrong changed his profile picture, removed his NFT, removed .eth from his username, and tweeted about Bitcoin twice. Therefore, securities regulation is imminent. Okay, so the SEC is going to come out and declare ETH illegal after they've been on the take from FTX. Please. Okay. Brian Armstrong was probably cleaning up his Twitter so as not to seem to endorse Ethereum, right? As in providing investment advice. He's the CEO of Coinbase, not some random guy. So it was probably a compliance cleanup and a pro Bitcoin tweet, which everybody has turned around, put into the FUD blender, made a FUD shake, and consume that every day as they do. Meanwhile, crypto does not go lower. So as long as they're pumping FUD out, I'm bullish. Speaking of FUD, EU lawmakers impose prohibitive requirements on banks' crypto. So everybody has to pass a crypto protect the public law. Okay. So let's protect whatever we can protect. Let's make sure banks are not insolvent. But the fact that these headlines are like, oh my God, I must protect the world from crypto, it's going up. That's my attitude, right? So as long as we can wake up every morning and we say, okay, it's 90 seconds to annihilation, geopolitical, etc. Yeah, there's going to be a big bang, but not today. FBI says North Korean hackers behind $100 million bridge theft. No shit. Isn't North Korea behind every big hack? I mean, yeah, okay. It's news, but again, this is the news, right? Bitcoin price was the news for like 2 days before they went back to the FUD. Meanwhile, you can now earn Bitcoin for listening to podcasts. Okay, listen to earn, work out to earn, Web3. Everyone forgot about it. Everyone forgot about it. If people are bearish, I'm bullish. Markets climb the wall of worry. We are in the disbelief phase coming off a bottom. So here's how 2022 worked. You had capitulation, you had anger, and then you had depression. And people are so depressed that, me, my colleagues have decided to stop being depressing or to not contribute to the depression. Right. So we're bullish, but we want to stay away from being bullish because we think it's the apocalypse. Actually, we don't think it's the apocalypse. We think crypto is the dawn of human freedom and Satoshi's vision is about to come true. Meanwhile, no one is believing it. And everybody is, like, I don't know, like they're like sucking on FUD like it's their job. Stop the FUD. Okay, now we're going to PowerPoint. Okay, let's see who else is here. Okay, Mr. Moby Dick in the house. ETH is a commodity. Yes, ETH is a commodity. If silver starts mooning, silver was trending on Twitter this morning. If silver starts moving, ETH is going to go with it. And I just think day after day after day, everybody is underestimating what ETH can do. Like, seriously. Like, when ETH goes, man, it's just going to go. And that could be the shocker before any corrective activity occurs. ETH needs to be completely repriced. This stuff about regulatory risk and ETH is bullshit. And the first SEC guy, the first SEC gotcha, taking money from FTX, eats up 20% in 2 days. And I think people think that that's crazy, and that's fine. They can continue to think that. Because when it happens, it's just going to make the rally more violent. Donato is asking everybody to hit the like button. Please follow that advice. Joseph Ryan says, good morning. Thank you. Aiken is here. Okay. And Michelle says, I didn't get in before this rally. Is it too late? No. No, it is not too late. This is the common theme throughout crypto. I got blown out on the downside, and now it's going up. And somehow, because it's gone up a lot, or it seems to have gone up a lot, just like stocks off the bottom in 2009, everybody is afraid to buy it. Yes, there will be dips. No, the market is not going straight up. No, it's not going parabolic. But the market is re-rating itself and going to establish a range at much higher levels. Metabuy says Bitcoin or Ethereum if you could only buy one and hold for 5 years. Ethereum is not going anywhere. Ethereum is Web3. Okay, so the answer to that question for 5 years is Ethereum. The choice between Bitcoin or Ethereum, even though it makes for good conversation, I don't think that's the right way to phrase the crypto debate. I think the way to phrase the crypto debate for Crypto Spring is large cap versus small cap. And when are we going to rotate? When are the rotation points? Like, when do we go from Bitcoin to large cap altcoins to small cap altcoins? That's the new game. Out 5 years, I'd say out 3 years, it's ETH. Okay. Iron Alien says when the FOMO starts, that's when the pullback starts. Yes, but I'm not sure we've seen real FOMO yet. You know, we've seen rallies and then stopping points, but we haven't seen anything absurdly emotional. Yeah, it was a little emotional over the weekend, right? Down drafts are possible, but I don't think we've seen people go bonkers. We certainly haven't seen retail go bonkers because I think they're too afraid to get in, and crypto firms are still laying people off like it's the apocalypse. People are treating this as a bear market rally. I don't agree. I'm sure you'll be shocked to know that. So, like I said, I've been in come get me mode on this market for a while, and I'm going to just stay in come get me mode. What is come get me mode? Come get me mode means I have a view and the market can turn around and prove me wrong. And if there's some huge dip, then that's probably a buying opportunity, not investment advice, right? People are so afraid of a repeat of last year. Every down move scares them out of the market. That's choice. That's how pain gets created one way. The other way is there's just no downdraft. And it sits in a range and everybody goes, oh, well, I'll have time. And you don't. And then when people FOMO in, that's when the correction occurs. We have not seen FOMO yet, in my opinion. Okay, let's go to the market update. Crypto equities. Nobody is long. On the left-hand side, you have the names of various crypto equity projects. In the far right column, you have the assets under management, meaning the amount of money that has piled into these various crypto trading products. Basically, Invesco CoinShares is the only one that has meaningful assets under management. What does that mean? Nobody is long crypto equities. Everybody is like, crypto is toxic, just like everything was toxic after 2008. Nobody wanted real estate. Nobody wanted any of these things. And then years later, these things were like gold. Nobody wants crypto. And the marginal buyer that comes into both crypto and especially any crypto connected equities, there's no seller. There's no seller, right? If there's no one is long, there's no one to sell to when additional buyers come in. So buyers just have to keep bidding up prices. Tesla. Is Tesla a crypto connected equity? Maybe. Okay. Tesla is a barometer for risk assets. It's probably better than S&P. So Elon, like everybody else, got re-rated last year, right? Tesla normalized its valuation. Now, since Tesla has long normalized its valuation, Tesla is now a good barometer. Like, are you long freedom? You want to buy freedom because that's what Elon is. Let's face it. Elon, Tesla, his whole universe. Tesla isn't Tesla. I think it's Elon stock or Elon coin. Now, Tesla has just recently created a 9 top, which means there'll be a pause. That could also mean that Tesla could turn around and just keep rallying because you have the 9 means you've got the first part of the trend done. And then somewhere in there, you got it on the 7. You get some sort of downtick or pause. And then you can have 13 up days if it keeps going. Who's bullish Tesla? Nobody. Tesla could go to 183 because I'm not really seeing much resistance in Tesla. Okay, S&P, SPY, just for laughs. Everybody is apocalyptically bearish stocks. There is resistance in the S&P at 410. If S&P sat in this range, I would be just fine with that because it's not going to create a drag on crypto or crypto equities. But if you look over here on the right-hand corner, there's no sign of a top. Matter of fact, it looks like a fledgling rally has started, and you could have 9 up days. So everyone's like, the Fed next week. If I had to say what's the chart say about the Fed next week, it's that, S&P is probably going to rally into the Fed, correct off what they say, and then keep going. Okay. Unless he goes full hawktard and says, we will crush you, which is possible. But at the moment, there's nothing getting in the way of S&P going up. Now, back to crypto equities. Coinbase is gone from setup and is about to head into countdown. Okay. Cathie Wood bought this relentlessly. She took a tax loss in GBTC, which I get it. That's what the accountant said, but I think it's retarded to sell Bitcoin. Sorry. I just think it's stupid. She sold GBTC, which is the equity market's proxy for Bitcoin. And she sold it with Bitcoin at a huge discount, probably afraid that one of the parent companies has got a bankruptcy problem or a problem related to all these crypto bankruptcies. So even though she's bullish, she's bearish. She's bullish and afraid. You don't get a correction until people are bullish and unafraid to be bullish. This is how bottoms work. This is the nature of the disbelief phase. Now, by the way, you might be wondering how I know this. I know this because I got killed by staying bearish after equities made the bottom in 2009. I did not read this in a book. I found this out and learned this the hard way and vowed this would never happen again, ever. And now that the FTX FUD is over and the tax loss selling is done, crypto is going to simply and plainly re-rate itself. So is Coinbase, right? My friends are calling me my girlfriend's friends are calling her going, when is Bill going to show us how to get onboarded into crypto? What do you think the 30,000 print in Bitcoin does for retail or a summer rally? So this whole idea that Coinbase can't go up is crazy. Coinbase is at 55. The first part of the trend, as represented by the 9, is done. There's probably already been a pause, and you can have 13 more up days before you even have to worry about like a major correction. Right? Sans the Fed doing something stupid. But this thing looks like it wants to go to 74. And I mean, what is the Fed going to do? Say we're going to tighten until the price of eggs go down? Where is it in the economics book that ties interest rates to the price of food? It's not there. So they can say what they want, but the market's just going to go, okay, that's nice, and keep going, particularly as it related to crypto equities. Hut Mining. This is a weekly chart. So I don't know. It was at like $16. I can't even put it on the chart, but it went to 78 cents. So they annihilated it like it was going to zero. Now it's back at $2. There's resistance at $2. And when it goes from 78 cents to $2, everybody goes, well, it's up a lot. I can't buy it. No, actually, it's not up a lot. It's up a lot in percentage terms. But if Hut goes through 222 on a weekly closing basis, you can have 6 more up weeks. Now, you might get some sort of pause next week around the Fed because I'm not an idiot. The market may go, okay, we have to digest this. But if they give you a dip in these crypto stocks, like next week, right? Even if that dip is off some scary Fed statement, right? I want to go into my Schwab account and I want to be there. I want to do it. So I can't give you advice because, this is about entertainment and information. But when it comes to crypto equities, you have not missed out. If anything, the next dip could be the last dip before a multi-month rally in these stocks. Worst case scenario, these stocks are going to form a range to consolidate in. And then by the end of March, they're going to be gone. Like absolutely gone to the upside. Marathon Digital, a hyper-leveraged Bitcoin miner that everybody was afraid was going to blow up. The stock got completely annihilated. Now you could have 8 more up days before there's any type of correction. And this assumes that any DeMark topping signal on this actually creates a correction. It probably does. But the thing is, how high is it going to go before that correction occurs? And if you're too scared to buy it, it's probably got more upside. This is another doctrine called fade yourself. The best trades are the toughest trades. If it's tough to buy something, if it feels terrible, if you're scared out of your mind, it's probably a good trade because you have company. Now, I'm not saying there can't be dips, but what should you be doing on dips? Should you have a core long in any of this? Stocks, crypto stocks, Bitcoin. Is 22K Bitcoin expensive? Are you crazy? I was streaming last night. I'm like, oh, I see. People think, first of all, Bitcoin never should have been below 20K. The only reason it was because of the whole FTX Black Swan thing. If you go back to actual technical analysis and price and trading and freedom and crypto and having control of your own money, 20K was the biggest technical support or inflection point in the history of crypto. And just because Bitcoin is 10% above that level, it's too expensive. You got to be kidding me. And these stocks are going to reflect that. The stocks are going to go up and not wait for Bitcoin. The stocks are just going to normalize, which could result in huge upside gains. They've produced big upside gains now, and I don't see that stopping. Now, naturally, the higher these things go in the short term, the more dramatic the correction can be once everyone FOMOs in, but I don't think we're at that point yet. And the same thing goes for Optimism and all these other big altcoins that have done well. But Solana, as an example, we'll cover that later. So if you're interested in altcoins, don't go anywhere because I have all the technical levels for that. So again, stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and hit the like button. MicroStrategy, 9 more updates possible. Yes, it's at resistance, but it's not backing off. Everybody sold it in front of resistance 3 or 4 days ago. Guess what? It came straight back. If Michael Saylor builds anything that looks like DeFi on Bitcoin, or he builds functionality, any functionality on top of Bitcoin that turns Bitcoin from, hard money or just a medium of exchange into something useful, forget about it. This stock's going up. He's not going to get liquidated. If anything, Bitcoin goes above his average price at 30. This stock's going to go ballistic. And the DeMark work shows 9 more updates possible. Now, back to crypto. Ethereum. 1605 is a support point. This was adjusted from last night. So the support is 1605. If ETH holds above 1605 or if ETH dips below that and there's nothing but buyers, 1900 is next. This is hidden pivot analysis. That helps people find support and resistance levels when the market is vertical. Everybody wants a dip when it's going up. Bear markets don't let you out. Bull markets don't let you in. It's unfortunately the nature of the game and human emotions. Institutions cannot afford to not own crypto. It's called POMO, the pain of missing out. If portfolio manager A buys a ton of crypto and portfolio manager B only buys a small amount of crypto because he's afraid of the FUD, portfolio manager A beats portfolio manager B, and portfolio manager B gets fired. If anybody lost money last year, no one cares. That was a black swan. If crypto's going up and you don't own it, and you're a portfolio manager, you're an idiot. Or you will be considered an idiot. Now, people have their views. They do their research. They have their own methodologies. I'm not knocking this. But if price is going up and portfolio managers don't have it, it's going to go up more. And the reason there's no downtick is because it's just like as soon as it stops, guys start hoovering it up. So until this up, sideways stuff stops, it's just not going to stop going up. Ethereum on a wave count. So this is D-Wave. So it's DeMark's Elliott Wave tool. So it bottoms at 800 in July. ETH goes up to 2,000. Then there's this sort of awful slump off FTX where we have to watch it go, basically below 1,100 as the wave 2 over here. And, it's the end of the world at 1,100. It was the apocalypse. Now ETH is up only, which is exactly what it should be, because that's what happens in a wave 3. Wave 3 provides traders with huge amounts of gratification because, again, it's pretty much up only with almost no downticks. And wave 3s usually start out slowly and they put people to sleep. They're like, okay, it's going up, but I don't have to do it. I can buy a dip. There's no dip. Oh, shit, I have to get it. And then it really accelerates. Have we gotten to that point in ETH? Absolutely not. You don't even talk about that until ETH is above 2,000. ETH's probably going to go to 1900. Then there's going to be a pause because that was the high of wave one. And then as soon as it goes above the high of wave one at 2000 is when people are going to lose their minds. And, I'm going to be getting calls from, my godson in college going, how do I FOMO in? But we are absolutely not there yet. Okay, near. So this is layer one, Web3. Everyone loved it at 20, hated it at $1.25. Now there's a 13 top on the daily chart. So this is the question. Does a 13 top produce selling or a pause? In other words, if you get one day of selling and it comes back, then the market means business. Like DeMark work is great when it works and when it doesn't work. So if there's a 13 top in near and it doesn't go down or it goes down for a day and comes back, then just look out, right? Just like over here when there was a 13 bottom and there was no bottom because everybody needed the tax loss sell and it went from $1.75 to $1.25 and sat down there and made it look like the absolute end of the coin, end of the world, and I don't blame anybody when it just crashes all year and then it just sits down there, which is exactly what happened in 2018. It looks like the end of the world, but what it really is the bigger the base, the higher in the space. Back to the 13 top over here on the right, you watch near, okay? There could be a dip, there could be a top. But if there's a dip and it comes back, then that was your dip. If you don't want to catch the falling knife, I understand that. You wait for a dip. If you don't get one, then that 13 top signal, no one's paying attention. No one cares. It's like, okay, it's a pause. Is it a top or isn't it? Like this is the game. Stay tuned on the stream for obviously all the details as we're keeping you posted on all these technical levels. Because the question is, did I miss out? Yes, you missed out. Are you going to miss out on more? Well, what I want you to do is, what I want to see if I can help people do is get in, find the levels to get in, ride it up. And then when there's a correction, if you get in early enough, you might be able to ride out the 1 month pause. That way you have trade location and you can just sit there with it. Or you take your trading profits and you look to grab it on a dip once people have just FOMO'd in like crazy people. But normally when you have FOMO, you have like a V top, like it goes way higher than anyone thinks. Like it just goes up, 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 and up, because I still don't think we've seen the God candle in any coin yet. Even though Solana's been up a lot, there has not been the God candle where stuff's up 20% in one day. And I don't think this initial rally in January is going to stop until you get that God candle. So in Bitcoin, if it's above 22,800, 25K is possible. Okay, you look at Bitcoin on a daily chart. Yes, there's a 13 top. It's been there for 2 days. Does anyone seem to care? They don't. There's resistance, or there's an inflection point just under 23K. Bitcoin isn't budging. So it's sitting there either right below or right on top of resistance, depending on what happens. So there's a top. No one cares. That's the institutions buying it, because to them, 22,000 isn't expensive, or they don't even care what's expensive. They just care that it's an object in motion. And if it goes up again, and if I don't have it, I'm fired. And this can work in your benefit if you're a retail investor and you understand how to draw support points in a vertical market, which we show you on the channel. So please hit the like button and subscribe. This is why Bitcoin is acting like this, even though there are topping signals. Okay, Avalanche, support at 1750. So if we do a dipsy-do, okay, whatever. If it's back above 1750, the target is 23. Polkadot, a redraw on this, it looks like the support is at $6.38 and the upside target is 721. And frankly, I don't think anybody should, it just never should have been below 7. And the development that's going on this is massive. The day they push the button on this and it comes online and interoperability becomes real, the whole world changes. And of course, naturally, everybody gave up on that as the developers are just building. Solana, which eventually is going to come out with Solana Phone, in my opinion, everyone gave up on this. Everyone loved it at 200. They hated it at 9. It was dead. Now there's support at 23. People are scared to buy it, and it could go to 35. And I still think 45 is the ultimate upside target. Seriously, go back and look at how many Solana is dead videos were made when it was at 10. Hedge funds have irresponsibly big positions. It was an FTX holding. All the TVL is gone. The FUD was unbelievable. Now they're so embarrassed they can't even get turned around. Peter Schiff is so embarrassed about Bitcoin. He's like, yeah, 18K is a great level to get rid of your Bitcoin. He's on Twitter trying to like save face, turn himself around. I actually feel bad for the guy. Like when you tell everyone to aggressively sell a like generational bottom or at least the end of a major bear market into spring, that's tough to recover from. Like Kramer telling people that, 18K or this was a good time to get rid of your Bitcoin and it goes up 40% in his face. Like what's he going to do? Like anytime if he comes out and says, you know what, I was wrong on crypto, I like it, everyone's going to sell. It's awful. That's why when you get this, I've learned that when these bull markets start, it's, F around and find out. You fight these things, you get run over and you get run over and so does your reputation. Okay, optimism, there's a lot of resistance at 261 and this brings up the rotation game. So this is probably going to wind up being a monster winner during this crypto spring. Okay, this summer, it's probably going to be epic. The only thing that's interesting about that is that everybody knows it in this particular coin. So if support at 207 holds, they can take it up to 261. Interesting that they were too afraid to go up there. So it could actually go beyond that if 207 holds. The thing about optimism and maybe even about Solana is if you get God candle type price action, it's probably going to come back off. But are you there yet? No. Is $2 or 207 a bad place to get into optimism? Not investment advice, but based on this chart, the answer would be no. In other words, it's not a bull market until you can buy a dip and make money. And the only way to figure that out is to buy a dip. Like you have to test it for yourself, right? If you don't believe that this is a bull market, I don't blame you. You have to prove it to yourself. Like I can bloviate all I want. I can pound the table. But ultimately, it's up to you because you're running your book. XRP, everyone hated it. I lost followers for bringing it up. Now it looks like a breakout. It's slumping today, but QNT and all these other alternative payment systems are rocking. And fear of the SEC is something to buy, not sell. Right? The more afraid people are of the SEC, the higher whatever it is going because the SEC is a paper tiger because they were on the take from FTX. And that is the part of the FTX story that everyone is forgetting. Everybody wants like, oh, this person's going bankrupt or this layoff. Who cares about that? FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried is going to roll over on every congressman, every regulator, everybody. What are they going to actually get done on the regulatory front when they're going to get hauled off in front of Congress and they're going to have to resign? And their credibility is going to go to zero. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to hear from regulators, but that means they're not going to, aggressively go after everybody just because Brian Armstrong changed his profile picture. It's like, oh my God, the SEC is coming. No, the SEC is running for its life. Those guys are, they're men with paper buttholes backing up towards a fire. They're in trouble. Because if small guys were taking money or small guys were getting dinners and football tickets, the senior guys knew about it. They were getting dinners and football tickets or political contributions or Christmas presents or campaign contributions or whatever. Like SBF is going to roll over on everybody. That's why the government's trying to pin it all on him. They want to get him locked up and throw away the key and silence him. Good luck with that. Right? If you were going to destroy me, or I was going to get destroyed, I would fight you by telling everybody how you were on the take, and that's exactly what he's going to do. So XRP, that narrative is different. They got a shot at winning this case, and QNT is telling you that alternative payment systems are not so bad after all. Right? Okay, maybe you want to diversify away from the dollar. Maybe the dollar is not great. Okay, we know that. Maybe you want to get out of the dollar payment system. Okay, what do you want to get out into? Crypto payment systems made by innovators who believe in freedom, or do you want to be on the Chinese CBDC program where they can turn you off at a moment's notice? QNT breaking out massively. This is a huge theme we've had this year. We said above 140, it's going to 280. Obviously, that chart has caught on with a 10% up move today. Right? This is where it starts to get tough, particularly in this coin, because if it's going to be a freight train to 280, it may just freaking go there. It's probably going to go straight to 190. So this could be like one of these things that just completely re-rates itself. And you got to remember from last year, when QNT goes, it goes. Alternative payment systems. The fact that QNT is moving about this, it says something about QNT. It says something about XRP, but it also says something about the crypto market. Again, I'm going completely the other way on FUD. I'm not only going completely the other way on this like bearish, I can't buy it theme, but I'm just like, it's time to get away from all this like depressing stuff. Bad news, scary. Okay, yeah, it's all out there. We know that. It's known. It's not fresh information. The fresh information is Freedom, Hope, and Satoshi's Vision, and that is the market update. Okay, let's see what we got going on in the chat. By the way, if anybody wants to know what this fancy blue sweatshirt is all about, it's because I'm here at the Strategic Water Reserve for the company I work for, Gold Retriever, that has Blue Arctic as a subsidiary, and we are going to use crypto to move water from a strategic water alliance in Greenland over here or over wherever to people who need water. And instead of having it go through a futures exchange like the CME, we're going to use crypto, cut out the middleman, and give you an opportunity through the tokens GLDN and BARC, BARC, to invest in water infrastructure and water pricing, right? How does water get from one place to the other? Well, you need a free market. So when people are like, well, I missed the whole rally in crypto, well, GLDN and BARC haven't gone anywhere. Don't worry. The catalysts are coming. I work for the company. I own the tokens. Okay. You get it. It's not investment advice, but don't say there's nothing to buy in the crypto market. Okay. Profit Onion says LFG BARC. Just as a reminder, if you're doing any of these trades in GLDN or BARC on Uniswap, you got to hit the cog in the top right and set it to 12% to handle slippage. Brick Dreams is like, oh my God, double market update last night and today. So all the market update you can eat. Last night, we were helping our friends in Asia. This morning, we're trying to help our friends in Europe. Okay, Zach Blackstone says, I think people might need water in the future. Yeah. Not to mention the fact it would be really nice if the crypto community did something besides try to line their pockets and pump and dump like FTX and all these other evildoers, that if we actually did something good, like use the blockchain and crypto to help create a market so people could get water, like the people in Arizona that don't have any water. They got their tap shut off and it's like, oops. And then the next thing you know, I go to a grocery store in Texas and they're telling me I can only buy 4 20 packs of Ozarka spring water. Whoops. Okay. This is like not funny. You have a string of 100-degree days in Texas, everything dries up here, and then you have a hurricane hit Houston that affects clean water. Guess what? You got no water, and this whole idea of like water prices can go higher doesn't exist. Like there's just no water because there's no water market. There is a water market, but there needs to be a formal one so water can go from one place to the other. Which would you rather have? Water and a pricing mechanism or no water? Think about it. Okay. Wrong again says U.S. market update today at 4 Eastern. No, this is the market update for today. Okay. Kim Craig is talking about like another key to manifesting positive projection. Right. Yes. This is Satoshi's vision. It's time to be hopeful. Okay. Iron Alien calling me the fire marshal. I appreciate that. Okay. Bubba Smith is back looking at XLM and XDC. Okay. 100 messages in the chat. We appreciate that, folks. We appreciate that. Jeff reminding everybody to hit the likes. Okay. Raj is here. Appreciating the work. We appreciate that. Okay, Brick Dreams wants an egg token in the GLDN ecosystem. I think they're working on grains next. Okay, if there's going to be a geopolitical shoe drop, getting long grains in advance would be the way to go. Okay, somebody wants TA on the water ETF, EBLU. Okay, and then Andre is looking at Aptos. So let's go to live TA. Okay, so Aptos is ballistic, right? This is kind of like this is what Solana was back in 2021, where everyone was like, I don't know, I hate it or I don't understand it. And now it's just indiscriminately mooning. Now, from my point of view, when you look at this, I'm going to go to the 8-hour chart. So when I look at this, I'm like, well, 1280 is resistance. So this brings up the idea of sector rotation. So Aptos went through 1280 because of the intensity of the FOMO. See, you haven't seen this level of FOMO in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And frequently what happens is like things that people don't own or don't think can go up, they go up. There's massive FOMO. So here's like your God candle where this thing goes from 7 to 12. We have not seen this yet. Now, this could be an opportunity to possibly either take profits in Aptos and rotate them elsewhere, like not all of them. So if you were able to get in at 7, you can hodl this, but this looks toppy. This looks like it's got to go sideways or go down, or people just or it just got to consolidate. So there's nothing wrong with this, but it may have to go sideways. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Bitcoin and Ethereum basically unchanged right now. Okay, XLM. It'd be really awesome if some of these old dead coins could wake up. Okay, so if today's a down day in Stellar, depending on how you draw this, support in Stellar is at 0.092, and the ultimate upside target could be 0.1. So this looks like a dip. This could be a dip day or a sideways day, giving you the opportunity to get in. So if there's fear and FUD, let it drop. Let it find support. In other words, in a bull market, red days are good. Like, what did he say? Let me say it again. In a bull market, red days are good. If you can buy it when it's down, that's the time to buy it. Okay, so XDC wants to go to 0.03 cents. Right? XDC, I got a lot of people looking at ICP. Red days are good. Now, this may have been a little bit too much FOMO here. So, you have a chance to come down to 0.028. Okay, we're going to go to EBLU. Okay, let's go to a weekly chart on this. So we're just going to do some standard fib retracement stuff. So, water infrastructure goes up from 2020 to 2022, gets hammered last year, up. Where does it stop? Look at this, the 62% retracement, the magical level. And then it starts to go the other way. So this is currently at 38. The high was 52. And of course, there's Bark, which, people don't fully understand what this is yet. That's okay. Because when the first big water order goes through and the people pay in Bark and people go, did somebody just pay for water in crypto, pick up that water and move it somewhere? Yeah. Do these guys have licenses to get water out of Greenland? Yeah. Are they going to help solve the water problem through crypto? Yeah. Is there a blockchain mechanism for commodities that's actually useful that regular people can understand? Yeah. When the 45th president of the United States issued an NFT collection, people who like that person FOMO'd into those NFTs using their credit cards. Meanwhile, they didn't realize that they were doing crypto. The institutions that pay for water They don't really care if they have to pay in Bark. They don't care if it's crypto. They need water. Bark is an investment in water infrastructure. Now, I own the token, but don't look at this chart. Don't tell me that everything is up and you missed everything. You've missed nothing. The catalysts for this haven't appeared yet, but they are coming. They're coming because everybody needs water. Everybody all over the world. I saw a tweet where the U.S. government is going to be sending a nuclear-powered rocket ship to Mars. Well, that's fascinating. What about bridges and water? How about it? We're going to Mars, but Arizona is effed. As Mr. Spock would say, fascinating. Fascinating. Okay, Sleazy is digging it. Joe is happy about audio, right? We covered Audius, I believe. Hopefully I was bullish because it's smoking. Brick Dream said, housing, groceries are a luxury. Crypto is cheap. Exactly. Right. In other words, what investment can you buy? What investment out there can help you pay for eggs? Okay. Krishna's digging Bark. Okay. Pancakes and peanut butter in the house. Welcome. Shanghai update on ETH. Catalyst or sell pressure? Catalyst. Okay. Pat said, did we do Chainlink? No, we did not. Let me go back and do Chainlink. I think when it comes to Chainlink, I think when it comes to a lot of this stuff from the last cycle, I'm thinking the idea is stick with Web3. Now, here's the thing about Chainlink. It's hard. You know what? I got a great idea. Let's go over here and do it this way. Okay, let's do Chainlink on a daily chart for DeMark. So in Chainlink, there's resistance at 762. It's not backing off, but it's not exactly going up either. Chainlink is one of these coins that needs a catalyst. So the good news is in Chainlink, there's no sign of a DeMark top. There's a D-wave top, but it just means some consolidation may be in order. So I'm guessing that Chainlink is in a corrective phase, and a lot of these other tokens that, re-rated themselves off the low from the last cycle are just going to find a new range. So Chainlink stopped at the December high near $7, and it's coming off. Is it going to blow up? Probably not. But is this the thing you want to buy the dip in? If you've been hodling Chainlink, I don't see any reason to not hodl Chainlink because, the bigger the base, the higher in the space. And if Chainlink makes a base like this, right, where it goes sideways for, an entire year, that leads to upside, assuming there's a catalyst. Sometimes you have to wait for the catalysts, right? That's the thing about Bark or about Chainlink or any of these coins. Bark is what's next. Chainlink was last cycle's news, but that doesn't mean last cycle's news can't come back. CryptoPunks was from 2017, so was Chainlink. So I'm not hating on Chainlink, but it needs a catalyst. If it gets one, you've got the bigger the base, the higher in the space. In the meantime, I'm thinking about something that can, have a little bit more get up and go. Okay. Somebody's asking about Algorand and Sandbox. Okay. So let's look at Algorand. Now, BitBoy is very into this. Wall Street loved this for security tokens. Okay. So in Algorand on the daily chart, you've got a 13 top and no one cares. I mean, someone cares because it went up today and they sold it. Do you have to FOMO into Algorand right this second? I don't think so. But if Algorand is above 24 cents, it's probably going to wind up going back up again, but you're probably going to get a dip. So this would not be a FOMO coin today. You know, for all I'm saying, right? If Algorand holds 24 or 25 cents, it's actually going to hold above a prior resistance point. So if Algorand doesn't go down, like I said, if you get to 13 top, wait. No, wait a couple days. If this doesn't go down, you've got your signal, right? The ceiling is now the floor. Let it prove itself, give it 2 days, and then this could just go. Now, if you've been holding this and suffering with it and you bought it at 50 cents, leave it. Leave it. Give it a chance. Now, crypto discounts everything early. Crypto was down before the Fed rate before the Fed hike rates. And crypto was completely broken before the Fed went ballistic. And crypto can turn itself around way before the Fed turns itself around. Now, Sandbox coming off, this kind of sucks, right? It hit resistance around 86 cents and it's coming off. So let's look at the 4-hour chart. Okay, so you have a DeMark 5-wave top, and this is the dip day or a dip week in the metaverse, right? If you're looking to add to Sandbox and you get 67 cents, that might be Christmas. And you might get 2 down days in some of these altcoins that have been totally vertical. But we did some work on Sandbox last night, and the thing you have to be careful of is the Sandbox just coming down and retesting this prior ceiling from Jan 17. In other words, you know, things go sideways, then they go up, then they come back down and retest. So if the dip is a day or two, leave it. If you missed it and you want to try to buy a dip, red days are your friends in bull markets. Now, maybe there's a big red day off the Fed. Okay, great. Do a trade, put a stop in, and see if they get you. If they don't get you, right? If you buy on a down, don't buy on some huge green up day. But if you buy on red, not investment advice, and don't get stopped out, you've proved it to yourself. Sandbox, Algorand, perfect test cases for that. All right, so we're here at the Strategic Water Reserve, and I got to go. So Wrong Again says Algo is sitting on the 100-day moving average. Having your 100-day moving average handy could be helpful across all cryptos. You can find your support and resistance levels. There's a way to find them just by looking at it and saying, oh, I missed it. You haven't missed anything. That's like saying when Bitcoin came off the lows in 2018 and went from 3K to 4,500 that you missed it. You didn't miss anything. It went to 14K. Crypto stocks, crypto equities. This bull market is not over. Red days are your friends. I can't predict the size of the red days, but if there are red days, they are your friends. This is the market update for today. Hit the like button on the way out. Watch the replays. Double market update over the last 2 days. Let's kick it. We'll see you next time.